Hello and good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I hope you are doing well today. Welcome to 3 days of getting ready for work makeup with me. These 3 days, I am going to be using the new Blend Bunny and Robert Welsh Divination palette, and I'm quite excited about that. So, one of my favorite things about Blend Bunny palettes is when they are organized by color. I just started a new job and want to keep things simple, so I am simply going to do my looks by row. So for this first look, I am going to start off with the shade Skeptic, and I'm going to take that on a shader brush and get that in the shape I want and give it a little blend as I go. Next, I will be jumping into the shade Aura on a fluffier brush, and I will be using that to blend out Skeptic, and I will also be bringing it in a little bit further into my crease. Next, I will be taking the shade In the Stars, and I will be putting that in my inner corner and the beginning part of my crease and pulling it under my lower lash line a little bit. And this matte is absolutely spectacular. I love it so much. I think it might be my favorite matte in this row. I am so pleased with how it performed. It is so beautiful. And now prepping my eyes for shimmers with NYX Glitter Primer. I start by putting it on with a brush and then tapping it out with my finger to get rid of as many creases as possible to give the shimmers the best possible chance at lasting as long as possible on my lids through the day. To start, I am going in with the shade Superstitious, and I will be putting that on the outer part of my lid.
Wheels in motion, I'm going crazy for you. I smooth like the ocean. I can see you want this too. 'Cause you've been looking at me all night.
Next, I will be taking the shade Scry and putting it on the inner part of my lid. This shimmer is so special. Just like in the stars, there's something special about this shade. It is so, so beautiful. And taking a little bit more of In the Stars, and I am going to re-intensify that in my inner corner just to make it as intense as I would like it to be. And then going back into the shade Skeptic, and I am just going to re-intensify my outer corner and anywhere I may have lost some impact that I want it to keep. And going back into the shade Scry, I'm going to put that on my brush and give it a spray with some setting spray so it will stick, and I'm going to put that in the inner part of my lower lash line. For blush, I will be using the Solar Flare Blush Palette by Blem Bunny and Ellis Atlantis. I'll be using all three shades, lightest to darkest, and then cleaning off my brush a bit and blending them together.
I know that some might say that I am just a bad girl, but if you treat me right, I will be the best girl in this whole world. No, I'm not gonna bite. I got my hands on your body, so tell me what you want me to do. I can be good or be naughty, because there ain't nobody love you like I do, like I do, like I do, like I do.
For highlighter, I will be going in with my Rare Beauty highlighter in Enlighten and cleaning off my brush a bit and blending it out so the lines won't be quite as harsh. And then I will be going over that with the Prophecy highlighter by Kaleidos Makeup.
Listen and relax. From here on, you don't have to say a word.
And this is the finished look. I love how it turned out, and I have to say the longevity on this was fantastic. Sometimes I have issues with shimmers staying where they're supposed to be throughout the day, and I have to say these didn't move, and I am very impressed.
I got my hands on your body, so tell me what you want me to do. I can be good or be naughty, because there ain't
Welcome to day 2 of 3 days of work from home makeup using the Divination palette by Robert Welsh and Blem Bunny. Prepping my eyes with White Eye Base by P.Louise makeup, as I always do. Today we are just going to go down to the next row because I like how easy it makes makeup for me at 5:30 in the morning. So to start, I am going to go into the shade 13, and I'm going to take that on a shader brush, and I am just going to place that where I want it and pack it on my outer corner and give it a little blend as I go.
come a little closer. at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good tonight. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here.
Next, I am going to go into the shade Tea Leaf with a fluffy brush, and I'm going to use that to blend out the shade 13, and I will also take it a little bit further into my crease.
In love. You set my wheels in motion. I'm going crazy for you. I smooth like the ocean. I can see you want this too. Cause you've been looking at me all night, trying to figure me out. I just wanna let you know. And I ain't playing no games, baby, you won't change. I only want you. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear.
And now going into the shade Money, I'm going to take that on a small fluffy brush and pack that in my inner corner and also blend it up into the very inner part of my crease.
Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love.
And prepping my eyes for shimmers with NYX glitter primer. I am first putting it on with a brush, and then I'm going to pat it out with my fingers to keep it as crease free as possible to give the shimmers the best fighting chance to last on my eyes throughout the day. I am going to start with the shade Lucky, and I am going to put that on the outermost part of my lid.
But if you treat me right, I will be the best girl in this whole world. No, I'm not gonna bite. I got my hands on your body. So tell me what you want me to do. I can be good or be naughty. Because there ain't nobody love you like I do. Like I do. Like I do.
And then taking the shade Vision, I will put that on the inner part of my lid. And taking some more of Vision and giving it a spray with some setting spray, I'm going to put that in the inner part of my lower lashes, right up against my lashes. And give it a little bit of a blend with the mattes.
I will be the best girl in this whole world. No, I'm not gonna bite.
Going back into the shade Money, I am going to re-intensify that in my inner corner and also bring that up into the inner part of my crease again, just to make sure it didn't lose any intensity. And now going back into the shade 13, I'm going to re-intensify my outer corner and anywhere I feel like I may have lost any intensity that I was looking to keep. For blush, I am going into the Spring Magic palette by Unearthly Cosmetics and first going into the shade Alchemy, and I'm going to go rather heavy-handed with that and just give that a little blend as I go and make sure I blush my nose as well. And then taking some of the shade Pendulum, I am going to do a little bit along the bottom of where I put the blush and just above my contour and give it a blend with the initial blush shade.
I wanna dance with you. Everything's moving slower. I don't know what it is you do.
And for highlighter, I will be going in with my Rare Beauty highlighter in the shade Enlighten. Once I get that on, I will clean off my brush a little bit and then blend it out so there are no harsh lines. And then I will be going over that with Moon Talk by Odin's Eye Cosmetics, which is a beautiful green highlighter. I don't believe they carry this anymore, but it is absolutely fantastic if you can get your hands on it.
It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Falling in love. You set my wheels in motion. I'm going crazy for you. I smooth like the ocean. I can see you want this too. Cause you've been looking at me all night, trying to figure me out. I just wanna let you know. And I ain't playing no games, baby.
And this is the finished look. I really like how this turned out. I'm quite partial to greens, so I might be a little biased. It was absolutely fantastic. And once again, the longevity of the shimmers shocked me. They lasted almost all day. I only had to tap them out once. And welcome back to 3 days of work from home makeup, where I am using the Divination palette by Blim Bunny and Robert Welsh. I am going to start by prepping my eyes with White Eye Base by P.Louise, like I always do. And today we are just going to go down to the third row in the palette, which is the blue row, which is the row I am most excited about for sure, as blue is by far my favorite eyeshadow shade to work with. I am going to start with the shade Horoscope, and I'm going to take that on a shader brush and get the shape I want, pack it on a little bit, and blend as I go.
It won't go away. I've got that feeling rushing through my body. I know that it is here to stay. It's like you're my personal Illuminati. I know that some might say that I am just a bad girl, but if you treat me right, I will be the best girl in this whole world. No, I'm not gonna bite. I've got my hands on your body. So tell me what you want me to do. I can be good or be naughty, because there ain't nobody love you like I do, like I do.
Next, I am going into the shade Pisces, and I'm going to take that on a fluffy brush, and I am going to use that to blend out Horoscope. And now going into the shade Hydromancy, I am going to use that to blend out Pisces and just try to get the blend as smooth as I can, or at least to a point that I am happy with it.
I can be good or be naughty, because there ain't nobody love you like I do, like I do, like I
Prepping my eyes for shimmers with NYX Glitter Primer. I'm going to start by putting it on with a brush and then tapping it out with my fingers to keep it as crease-free as possible to give the shimmers the best chance at lasting through the day as possible. I'm going to start with the shade Oracle, and I am going to put that on the outermost part of my lid.
I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love.
Next, going into the shade Loveline, I am going to put that on the inner part of my lid.
I'm going crazy for you. I feel like the ocean. I can see you want this too. Cause you've been looking at me all night, trying to figure me out. I just wanna let you know. And I ain't playing no games, baby, you won't change. I only want you. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you.
And taking a little bit more of Loveline, I'm going to put that on a brush and give it a spray with some setting spray and put that along my lower lashes in the innermost part and give it a little bit of a blend with the matte.
I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down.
And dipping back into the shade Horoscope, I am going to re-intensify my outer corner and anywhere I feel like I may have lost some intensity that I was looking to keep.
I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling.
For blush, going into the Lunar Eclipse palette by Blem Bunny and Ellis Atlantis, I'm going to use all three shades, lightest to darkest, then clean my brush off and give them a blend together.
It won't go away. I've got that feeling rushing through my body. I know that it is here to stay. It's like you're my personal Illuminati. I know that some might say that I am just a bad girl, but
For highlighter, I'm going to be using my Rare Beauty highlighter in the shade Enlighten. Then I will give my brush a little bit of a clean and blend it out so the lines aren't quite as harsh. And then I will be topping that with the shade Skywalker by Kaleidos Makeup.
I can be good or be naughty. Because there ain't nobody love you like I do, like I do, like I do, like I do,
And this is the finished look. I very much enjoyed using this palette for these 3 days, and I totally intend on using the rest of the rows in looks because it just makes my mornings that much easier. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day.